Hello, I'm Calvin Morris and I'm here today to talk to you about Star Trek Beyond. Now this is going to be a spoiler heavy review, so if you haven't seen the film, I would give this a miss because I will be talking about story elements that will ruin the plot for you. But with that being said, for the rest of us who have seen it, let's talk about the good, let's talk about the bad, the things I liked, the things I didn't. Let's talk about Star Trek Beyond. So, first things first, let's get the good out of the way, shall we? The good of this film was, number one, the uniforms. I love the uniforms in this film. Okay, I unabashedly love the uniforms in this film. I don't think I've seen the TOS uniforms look this good ever. They got rid of all that shitty chevroning all over the outfit, all that crap that was just, you know, that silkscreen process stuff. They didn't look like weight, they looked like heavy duty, quality, like sort of jackets. They were very smooth, very form fitting. I thought they looked really sharp. So that's the first thing that I liked about this film. Another thing I liked about this film was actually Chris Pine. I've never been a fan of Chris Pine, and certainly definitely not his performances as Captain Kirk. I've yet to find his character of Captain Kirk anywhere in there. But that being said, in Star Trek Beyond he delivers what I consider to be a less hammy performance, and there are some moments where he's genuinely connecting with the character, and that does come across, and that's all very good to see. He still isn't Captain Kirk to me because the character in this movie is still far too irresponsible and reckless and more of a chancer than a rational thinker. And to me, that's not Captain Kirk. That's never Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk balances stuff. He works stuff out. He's got it in here. You know, he can. The ship comes first. The crew. You know, but he's got it in here. He's working it out. He's able to solve these problems, and he tends to put that first before and the crew first before he does something reckless. And that's not this guy. And it's a demolition of his character. But as for Chris Pine's Captain Kirk, this is the closest he's ever got. I like that sort of direction in the character, and I wish they would go further with it. Another thing I liked about this film was the visual effects. I still don't like the Enterprise. Okay, that Enterprise is a bucket of shit, and I'm not gonna speak any less polite about it or more polite about it. That is what it is. It's a bucket of ship, and you know, anyway. But visually, this movie looked impressive. They spent a shitload of money on it, so you can imagine if you spent a ton of money on anything, you'd expect it to look good at least. And this movie does look good. You know, for what is it, $180 million, $200 million movie, the money's there on the screen. So that's another plus for this movie. That's pretty much where the good ends. Now, let's talk about the bad of this film, okay? Well, number one, Spock. Oh, dear God. For a man whose life is based on logic, for a man who spent his entire life growing up with this attitude that has left him abhorrent of violence, this guy is more die-hard than John McClane. He's just a gun-toting badass. No. And what the hell was wrong with his hair? In this movie, it looked like it was made out of clay. It was just glue. What the hell? It didn't look like his hair. I'm sorry. It just. What the shit? I couldn't stop staring at it. When it was on screen, it was like, is it gonna move? Is it real? It was just, so bad. I mean, what the hell were they thinking? And the thing is, the makeup in this movie, for the most part, the makeup in this movie was very good. And then it came to his hair, and it was like, well, just stick the wig on and just get it in front of the camera. Another bad thing, unfortunately, in this movie was Karl Urban. Oh, what a thump in the guts that was. Because the thing is, As much as I disliked Into Darkness and as much as I disliked '09, one of the things I can say was a genuine positive was Carl Urban. He was the guy that really was channeling Dr. McCoy. And in this movie, he seemed to be stuck with the short lines. He seemed to be stuck with only quipping and quoting these short little bits. And that really injured the character, and it injured his performance as well, because every other line was either "damn it man," "damn it Jim," "damn it Spock," "damn it this," "damn it that." He didn't have anything else to really contribute to the character. There was a bit of doctoring going on here and there where he was trying to sort of medically see to Spock, but that could have been any medic anywhere at any time. They didn't do enough with Bones to really let you into the character. Now, again, that being said as well, the other bad thing in this movie, which is something I'm still having problems with, is Simon Pegg as Scotty. For the love of God, just recast him. You know, we all love Simon Pegg. I love Simon Pegg. I think he's a brilliant guy. I think he's a brilliant actor. I think he's a brilliant writer. I think he's excellently funny. Always makes me laugh. I think he's a fantastic guy. He is not Montgomery Scott. And in this movie, he proves once again why he's not Montgomery Scott. Because he falls back onto his comedy legs. He does something in the movie whereby his natural physique automatically sends him back into his comedic stature. Montgomery Scott, you can say what you like about him, but the guy's a slugger. Okay? He's not one, even throughout his career, he is not one to shy away from a fight. He's not one to back down. He is not one that is willing to... In fact, it'll normally be Scotty that'll throw the first punch, okay? Just look at Trouble with Tribbles, okay? Just you know, that's Montgomery Scott right there, okay? You put the screw in, you turn it, and he's going to punch you in the face. So he's not afraid of getting himself a bit scuffed up. In this, Simon Pegg was kind of introvert, and I've never known Scotty to ever be introvert. Sorry about this. So that again, right? So Scotty's done, out of the way. Not good. Didn't enjoy it whatsoever. They once again sort of played this whole relationship with Uhura and Spock, which I'm already bored of. I don't care. I don't care. And you know, Zoe Saldana, she can kick all sorts of ass in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't need every member of the crew to be kung fu crazy. It just didn't sit well with me. And ironically as well, one of the other story points in this film that got a lot of buzz was this whole thing about Sulu being bisexual, or you know, and he has a child and he's married to a guy and all this and all that. It was one of the best moments of the film. It was genuinely one of the best moments of the film, whereby sort of they come off duty and they sort of relaxing and they're going to meet their families and stuff like that. And it was a nothing moment that just sort of went, oh, that's kind of nice to see that Sulu is still this family guy. Just a different sort of family. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I thought it was just a very nice way to sort of... And it's not like they spent any sort of time with it. They just sort of showed it and went, this isn't that important, let's move on to something else. And that's the way it was treated. It was very dismissive. So people have made a lot more of this than there genuinely was. The other bad thing about this film, really and truly, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Forget the visual effects. Forget Star Trek. Forget all the bad and crap of character assassination and all that. Put it into a bag and just push it aside here. The story. The story to this film is god awful. Okay? Just push it all aside. Okay? People will give this a break because it's Star Trek and it's an action film and all that. I'll take all that, I'll push it aside, I'll just tear the Star Trek bit out of it and just focus on the story here. It is such a bad story. The villain in this piece, played by Idris Elba, doesn't even make sense. Okay? Here's the thing. The story here is that Idris Elba is going to entice the Enterprise to come to his planet so that he can destroy the Enterprise to obtain an artifact so he can set off a weapon of mass destruction on board this space station which he intends to destroy and kill millions of people. That's the plot of this film. The problem here is that his character is reliant on a lot of luck. And I mean a lot of luck. I mean, he sends out that spaceship. Lights going funny. And he is hoping that the Enterprise is going to be there. He sent out that spaceship hoping that that space station is going to send the Enterprise. He is hoping that the Enterprise is going to show up and is going to have the artifact on board. Kirk could have taken it off the ship with him. He could have left on board the space. There's nothing to say that that artifact was still going to be on board the ship. So he was reliant on a lot of luck. The other thing about that was the fact that when he finally obtains the artifact and he destroys the Enterprise and all that sort of stuff. By the way, the Enterprise gets destroyed in like 20 seconds. This ship, this flagship of the Federation, this brilliant, wonderful starship, just has his ass handed to it. And we've seen the Enterprise have his ass kicked before. We know nothing new about that. But if they really wanted to make this ship look like something special, they should have at least, strung it out a little bit longer to make this ship look like it was in the middle of a battle. It wasn't in the middle of a battle. It was in the middle of what I can only describe as an interstellar starship gang rape. So the other part of this problem is that it leaves the Enterprise crew alive, it leaves Kirk and crew alive, and they're able to find the USS Franklin, which has crash landed on this planet. Luckily it's all intact and everything still works. Don't worry about that, it only hit the planet surface, don't worry about all that sort of stuff. They managed to get it working and flying in ship in Bristol fashion, as you would. They then went off and destroyed Idris Elba's plan, which was flawed from the start, because if you think about it, he didn't actually need the weapon to destroy that base anyway. If he had just at the start of the film just gone at Yorktown with his entire fleet and just battered the holy hell out of it, they wouldn't have stood a chance. He would have just demolished it. He would have caught him off guard and he would have just demolished the entire station and killed everyone. And he would have totally would have achieved his plan. But as it was, because he alerted the Enterprise, they were able to get there, figure out how to stop him, and what the hell is going on with my lights? But anyway, it was just a flawed plan from the beginning, and again, it was just very, very bad. The other thing was that it turns out that he's not really this lizard creature, that he is this human that has just evolved. I mean, why? Why? This was just sort of tacked on. Don't do it. He could have been a race of this creature that just wanted some sort of revenge on this station. It could have been. But as it was, he had to be a human, and because all the problems that are out there are caused by humans in this new verse, and it was just bad. It was just really, really bad. There was a variation on the whole skydiving scene. I'm not going to go into that. Just leave it out of there. Apparently Kirk just loves being, airborne. I guess. But the main problem I have with the script is the fact that they didn't really do any research. They didn't really do any thinking about it, and you could say, it's just a bit of entertainment and all that. bear in mind, the script that he wrote for this film, they paid about $120,000 for this script. If anyone gets paid $120,000, they better be doing the best damn job they've ever done. And I don't care what it is. I mean, it's ridiculous. And, you know, if you can't be bothered to do a little bit of research to make sure that your script is tight, that it's good and it's the best possible script that you could ever possibly make, then I don't know why I should be bothered to like it. And I don't like it. And it's that simple. I just felt it was a very flawed story. I've just felt it was a very flawed film. And the worst part about it was as well, is that there is a moment in this movie whereby they actually remind you of a much better film, and I'm pretty sure you all know what it is when you see, if you watch the film. It's that moment where Spock opens up the box and he sees the picture, and you're just going, oh, that was such a good moment, that was such a good film. Memories. And then you go back to this piece of shit. Yeah, and then of course you get the Enterprise A, and the Enterprise A is pretty much the same shitty Enterprise with new pinstripes. Yeah, there's nothing more I can say about this film. If I'm going to rate this film out of 10, well, I'll give it 1 for the costumes, 1 for the makeup, 1 for Chris Pine's performance, 1 for the visual effects. The music would have been okay, and that's the other problem with this film. The bigger problem with this film, the music. And why is it a big problem? Because the end of this movie was ripped directly from the end of Mars Attacks. Because they beat the villains in exactly the same way. If you've watched Mars Attacks, you will know exactly what I mean. So, yeah. That is one of the worst ends to a Star Trek film I've ever seen. And there you have it. So it's a 4 out of 10 for me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Feel free to like and comment on this video, which I'm pretty sure some of you are going to comment on this video. Star Trek fans are crazy. But I'm welcome to take a bashing over this. You know, if you like this film, I'm very, very happy for you. I thought it was a piece of garbage, and Star Trek fans deserve better. So yeah, like and comment on this video. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Go over and join me on Google+. But until next time, I'll see you later, guys.